we have some 7-day-old Australian Labradoodles from our beautiful Mama Posie here. And in today's video, we are going to talk all about what the puppies have been doing the past week, what Posie's been up to, and we're also going to see if the puppies have doubled their birth weight yet, because that's something we always check at the week 1 mark. Hi, I'm Claire from Van Isle Labradoodles, and these are the petite Australian Labradoodle puppies from beautiful Posie and our amazing sumac. And the name of this litter is the Pacific Coast Confections litter. And they are all just delightful. So during the first week of life, there's not a lot of things that go on when you're a puppy. We're just going to get Posie to move over here so you can actually see the puppies, as Posie thinks that she should just spend her time getting attention from mom now. So what a puppy does for the first 7 days is eat, sleep, and repeat. That's it. They can't see, they can't hear, they can't go to the bathroom without mom, and they can't keep themselves warm or cool themselves off. So their only job for the first little while is to eat and grow and be nice and healthy. And so to support that, we make sure that they are somewhere that's warm and cozy, and we make sure that their mom is eating a very nutritious raw food diet, and that we keep them the temperature always warm, and that they always feel secure. And you can see little red collar girl here, or boy rather, he is starting to move around and make himself able to move his muscles. No, you are a girl. I was right the first time. I just had to check. So she's up there. She's not able to get up on all fours yet. She doesn't have the strength for that, but she is calling herself around. So she's basically at the crawling stage. And this is really quite something for week 1, for her to be moving around quite as well as she is. And you'll see she's kind of tottery, and she goes a little bit in a circle, usually clockwise, and that's really, she's just trying to find a source of warmth. So as we've mentioned before, the puppies have heat sensors in their noses, and that helps guide them to where everyone is. So you see red collar girl did that little circling about. Now she's found where everyone is. That's what she was looking for, was the heat source. And you see how they all pile up on each other here. That's to keep warm, because Posie is just left the nest. When Posie's here, they spread out more because they use the body warmth from her body. Now, because she's not here, they've gravitated to be next to my body, because their noses are telling them that I am also a sense of warmth. Now, because they're a week old, I turned the heat down 1 degree this morning, but they seem to be a little bit huddled up for me. I'm going to keep an eye and decide whether or not I'm going to turn it back up again. We have Joya's puppies over next door. They're a couple of days older. They're all spread out and really comfy. Certainly Posie and Joya are much more comfortable with the heat turned down to 22 or 23 rather than 24. So we're trying to get that balance so that the puppies are comfy, but the moms are also comfy, because they're working hard looking after their babies, and it's important that they are comfortable too. Now, what has Miss Posie been up to this week? Well, Posie has just really been in here caring for her babies, and that's hard work. She's going to tell you about that. She says she has to be there and monitor them. She makes sure that they're all close by, that they're all having a turn at the milk bar, and that she's making sure they stay nice and clean and helping them to go to the bathroom whenever they need to. And she's also telling us how she really is enjoying eating quite a bit more than normal, but she does prefer to have it fed to her by hand. And yes, she knows she can eat it out of the dish all by herself perfectly well. She was doing that just before the video, but she'll only eat a little bit of it, about half. And then that's it. She just gives you her little pretty face looking up under her eyelashes and says, well, would you like to feed the rest to me? And then she just wolfs it down. So no problem there in the appetite department. Just she prefers to be fed rather than eating it herself. And of course we accommodate whatever it is that Posie wants. She's out and about running around in the front. The puppies are too young for her to go in the back yet, but she loves going out in the front. She sniffs things. She wanders around a little bit, has a little bit of a run up and down the area that we have for our mums, and then she comes back in very quickly. She's not outside for not quite 10 minutes yet, a little bit less than 10 minutes at a time. She runs back in and makes sure the kids are all right, and then wraps herself around them. This is Posie's third litter, so she's very confident and she's very secure in her role as a mama Labradoodle. And she's doing such a good job. Yes, she is. She has a lovely balance between care and also letting the puppies be independent. And as you see them all lying here, they're all completely happy. Nobody's making a sound. Nobody's flitting around anywhere. And that's because they're secure too. They're comfortable, their bodies are warm, their tummies are full. You can see the tummy here. Goodness, that's a sticking out tummy baby, isn't it? Yes, it is. But they're all really doing well. Their coats are glossy. Everyone's just so happy. and Posie is very attentive and loving, as she always is, whether it's to us or it's to her babies. Now, one of the reasons why the puppies all have such shiny coats, I tried to talk, and why Posie's coat is so shiny, and you'll see she's not, of course, losing any hair. You can also see, because she's showing you her full self, that she's not skinny in any way, and part of that is due to the nutrition she's being fed. Now, Posie, all of her life, since she was born, has been on a raw diet. She has never eaten any grains. She's never eaten any processed food, nothing at all. She's just eaten beautifully, wonderful, natural, whole food. And that makes such a difference in her milk bar. Just as she enjoyed when she was a puppy and her mama had that diet and it allowed her to thrive, now with her eating that way, her puppies also get the benefit and also are thriving. So what the raw diet does is it offers more bioavailability rather than feeding her a processed food diet where, sure, there's calories and there's bulk, there's no actual nutrition in it. So a kibble diet is somewhat similar to eating a fast food diet. It's basically ultra processed, ultra chemically and synthetically enhanced food. And yeah, it feeds a dog up, and of course they can survive on it, but they definitely don't thrive. Kibble as well requires that you use a lot of water to process, because it's like eating cereal all the time. Crackers, it's really like having a diet of crackers. So you'll find kibble dogs are constantly drinking water, whereas raw-fed dogs drink very little water in comparison because they get all of that hydration from the food. And this means that their organs are not overly taxed in trying to process their food. So that makes for a healthier dog. It makes them last longer, and that's of course what we all want. Now this week we want to talk to all of our families a little bit about getting ready to welcome your puppy home. So this is a great time to go through your house, check it out, figure out if there's going to be areas where the puppy is not going to be allowed. Figure out how you're going to make sure the puppy doesn't get into those areas if you have some. Wander around and look at, okay, I've got some plants here, so I'm going to have to put them way up. Make sure you find a new spot to put your remote control, your cell phone, your glasses, these kinds of glasses, anything like that, so they're not on the coffee table or your end table, which is where we normally put that type of thing. You'll need them to be much higher than that so your puppy doesn't get into them. And the main thing is figuring out which door you want to use for your puppy to go in and out to go to the bathroom. You want the door to be somewhere that's easy for your dog to get to from where their normal living area is going to be, somewhere that's easy for you to see and get to. So if your puppy's standing at the door, it's not hard for you to see that they're there waiting for you to let them out. And somewhere that is easy for your kids to open and close the door. And also somewhere where there's no stairs, because Puppies cannot do stairs for the first 6 months. It can damage their joints and cause all sorts of problems, including hip dysplasia when they're older. So you don't want your dog using stairs. So you want to make sure that whatever door you're using doesn't have stairs to it, or at least not more than just a couple. And of course, an area that's fully fenced and secure. Now, if you've got a place in your backyard you want to designate as the potty area, then you want to start from day one, taking your puppy directly out to that spot. And that will mean carrying them. Because if you don't carry them when they're really little, they'll just go. Because once they need to go, they need to go. And there's no fooling around. You have a very small window there for that. So if that's what you're choosing to do, then just be aware that that is going to be something that will be involved when you take them out to go to the bathroom. And the other thing is just looking for areas where there are potential hazards. So in our house, one of the hazard zones is where I quilt. So you want to make sure that you're able to segregate that from your puppies and keep them safe from anything that you might do, cords in your office, things like that. You need to be able to figure out what you can put in front as a good solid barrier. And the other thing you also want to do is start sitting down as a family and establishing what your rules are going to be. Is the puppy going to go on the furniture is the main one. And if they are, that's fine. If they aren't, then you have to make sure that you all understand that all of you, all your friends, any visitors will have to sit on the floor to interact with the puppy. How about you come over here so everyone can see the puppies rather than just you? Yes, we all like to see you because you're beautiful. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Did I push you too hard? I'm sorry about that. But mostly everybody wants to see the puppies. Yes, Posie does like to be the center of attention. Okay, down you go. That's enough, girl. She's not listening to me very well today. She really wants to be the star today. Now, one of the other things that we do with the puppies each day, besides weighing them, is we do what we call ESN or ENS, early neurological stimulation. And that's really simple. All that involves is doing something with the puppy that they wouldn't normally expect. So it only takes a few seconds. So something like this. We hold the puppy like this. That's all we do. That's it. Why do we do that? Well, what we want to do is to have the puppy used to unexpected things happening and understanding that the result is not something bad. It is thought to help to develop a puppy who is more calm and accepting and more curious rather than fearful when they grow up. There is absolutely zero scientific evidence that proves that that is correct. However, there is quite a bit of anecdotal evidence, and there are many schools of thought who really firmly believe in this. So it doesn't hurt the puppy, so why would we not do it? It's just something that we do every day. So here's another thing we would do is we would just put them like this, and that's all we do. And you can see that none of them are reacting. This is exactly what we want. We don't want any reaction from them. We want to just have them doing something simple, just like this, and showing them that it's fast, it's nothing weird, it's just part of life. Things will happen. Humans do strange things to dogs, and look at that. Everything is just fine. So we do that. That's all that's involved, but once a day. The other thing that we do is some scent, early scenting. So they smell us every day. We don't wear perfume or anything intentionally, but if we're in here and we have our coffee or our tea with us, then it's just simply a matter of we pick the puppy up, we put their head near there, that's all they need, they smelled it. That also is believed to help develop them and make them more calm and accepting. Again, no scientific evidence that any of that really does do anything, but personally I don't see that it does any harm, and on the off chance it might be beneficial, why not do it? So now let's get to the puppies. We're going to talk about whether or not they've doubled their birth weight this week. And why is this important and why do we measure this? Well, we want to make sure that, of course, that they're thriving. And one way to know if they're thriving or not is what their weight gain is like. So as a general rule of thumb, we aim for their birth weight to double within the first 10 days. If they do it in the first 7, terrific. If they do it before the first 7, wow, they're really going. If they haven't by day 12, then we start to look and go, okay, what is going on here? Unless it's very, very close and we don't need to worry. But let's say a puppy was only at 88% on day 12. Well, we start to become a little concerned about what might be happening. So what could be happening? Most often it's worms. It's gross, but all puppies are born with worms. All female dogs have a worm in their body that is dormant. The only time it ever becomes active is when that female dog becomes pregnant. Those worms then pass on and are transmitted to the puppies. So that's why when your puppies here at Van Isle Doodles, we worm them at week 2, 4, 6, and 7. So when your puppy goes home to you, we ensure they have a clear fecal, they have no parasites, and you don't have to do anything further. But sometimes if we have a young puppy before 2 weeks and they haven't gained and they seem a little scrawny, you would be able to see their ribs here, then it could be because they have worms to a degree that's really bothering them. In that case, then we'll worm the puppies a bit early. If we have more than one puppy who's doing that, then for sure we're pretty confident it's worms, and then we will worm them around day 10. I like to wait until week 2, and we use an extraordinarily gentle wormer. It's called Strongid, and some vets don't even like it because they think it's too gentle. I have never in 43 years not had it work, so I'm quite confident that it does the trick. The last worm dewormer we use is not Strongid, it's Interceptor, and that way when we use 2 different products, we can be confident that we've caught everything. So that would be the first thing that we would do. And we would also check and we would watch, because of course the dogs are on camera all the time. We would watch and see, well, is this puppy getting kicked out? Is this puppy not really able to get up to the milk bar? Those would be the first beginning things. And if we couldn't find anything and we had no answers or no reason, we'd go to the vet and we would do a little bit further investigation. So now for today, let us see how everybody is doing. And as always, we're going to do the puppies in birth order. So that means we're going to start with Blue Collar Boy, who is on the bottom of the pile here. He is being a pillow for all of his friends here. And again, when we do this and we take them and we are handling them, we want to be slow and we want to be gentle. And we want to make sure we don't alarm the puppy in any way, because we want the puppy to always associate us and our touch with something positive. So we let Mama Po there have a little check to make sure that I haven't done anything wrong. And then we'll show you our handsome little man. And this little guy is 421 grams today. So he has gained 106% of his body weight. So no problems with this little dude meeting his milestone. And since week 1, you will see that some of his spots, this beautiful caramel here, they are starting to show up a bit more. So this one on his back, you'll see much more of it now, and there's a little bit more down here, and I can see some more coming on over here as well. And his ear over here is definitely darker than it was previously. And there's his little teardrop right at the top of his head. So that's Mr. Blue at 421 grams. And then next we have Yellow Collar. Yellow Collar is our pretty little chocolate phantom who looks just like Papa Sumac, other than Mr. Yellow here does not have quite as much white on his face as Papa Sumac. This is our tiniest puppy in the litter, and he still is after the first week. He's now 338 grams. It's amazing how much he has grown in that first week. And so he is at a 94% increase in his weight. So 94% at day 7 for a small puppy is totally fine. I'm not the least bit worried. By day 12, he will definitely have, well, by day 10, he'll have doubled his birth weight without any problem. I'll put you over there with Mr. Blue. Then we have our little girl, Miss Red Collar. She is our only girl in this litter. And she is a healthy chunker of a puppy. She is a cutie pie. She is a little caramel tuxedo, just like Mama Posie. She is going to look very similar to Posie when she is an adult, and she's getting her nose starting to fill in already. And Miss Red is 433 grams, and she has gained 109% of her birth weight. She is just a solid little muffin. These guys are tiny, but they are very nice, solid puppies. Next we have Mr. Green Collar. And Mr. Green Collar is also similar to Mom in that he is a caramel, but he, unlike his sister Red, he's a red caramel. And he too has tuxedo style markings, lots and lots of white flash on this puppy boy. And he is 478 grams. So that is 94% of his birth weight has been gained. So he and Yellow are exactly the same. So you can see how it doesn't matter if you're the biggest or the smallest. It's really just what's going on in your own individual body. Because Mr. Yellow is the smallest and gained 94%. And Mr. Green is the biggest and also gained 94%. So they're exactly tied, just at opposite ends of the spectrum in this particular litter. And then last but not least, we have Orange Collar. Orange Collar is our beautiful caramel smoosher puppy. That's a highly technical Labradoodle term. It isn't, of course, but I call this little guy the smoosher because look at all the color on his back. It's all smooshy dooshy all over the place. Oh my goodness. And the pretty, pretty face, loads of white on the face, the arms, on the chest. Oh, this is such a pretty puppy. This puppy, I believe, we will call a tuxedo because he does not have enough white to be a party. So the way his markings are, with the white up his legs, his face, around his collar there, that is a tuxedo pattern, which is what Posie has as well. So Mr. Handsome Orange here is 448 grams, and that is 91% of his birth weight. So he's gained the least, and I can tell by feeling him as well that he is not quite as skookum, as my vet would say, as the other puppies. He's got a very full tummy. He's not lacking in any way. He's just not quite as filled out as the other puppies are yet. He's going to have no problem though meeting that target of doubling his birth weight by day 10. He'll probably do it long before day 10. So that's everybody, and that's our update for this week. If you're on this litter list, you will be getting a video that is going to go into more detail about getting ready to welcome your puppy. And one final thing to just touch on is a fun item, and that's picking the name for your puppy. Now's the time to start thinking about that. Lots of things to consider. The one thing that I always tell everybody, first of all, to keep in mind is try to choose a name that's unique, a name that isn't used very commonly. So very popular names right now are Finn, Charlie, Gracie, Sadie, Bailey. Lots of names like that are very popular. Rosie. If you have a dog and its name is Charlie, and you are wherever you are out with your dog, and you go, "Hey Charlie, Charlie," you're quite likely to have a dozen or more dogs running to you because they're all named Charlie. It also makes it harder for your dog to actually learn their name when it's a name they hear all the time. So when you're a puppy kindergarten socialization classes, if your dog keeps hearing Charlie, 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 it doesn't stand out to them. It doesn't have the same meaning as if you call them supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. That would be a bad choice, but you get the idea. So something that has some good meaning to you, maybe some meaning to your family. Perhaps you want to think of something that has a relation to the litter, to Posie and Sumac's names. Maybe something that's related to the island, Australia, since that's where the breed originated. Anything like that. And it's always good to have a few names and then get together as a family and get your friends involved and say, "Hey, I'm thinking about calling my puppy Excalibur. What do you think of that?" Try to find something that's easy for people and kids to say, something that's spelled fairly normally so your vet, your trainer, your breeder can remember that it isn't Rover spelt with some strange different spelling that you can never remember. Something that's simple but unique and full of meaning for you, because after all, you're going to be saying this name for many, many years. So you want it to be something that's really special and really reflects your relationship with your new family member. So lots of things to think about this week, lots of fun things in terms of getting ready for ideas for a name to come up for your puppy, and just all sorts of anticipation. And just think it's only 4 more weeks and you'll be here to meet the puppies in person. We hope you enjoyed today's video. We hope you might have a moment to pop a comment for us. If not, a thumbs up is always appreciated as well. And we hope you'll stay with us right through to allocation day for all the video updates for this gorgeous litter of petite Australian Labradoodles. Thanks so much for watching.